We are going to start with the coronavirus situation in South Korea and around the world. We are entering year 3 of the pandemic, and arguably you could say we are in just a bad of a position, or even worse than we were a couple of years ago, unfortunately. Daily cases remain high here in South Korea, and the Omicron strain is driving an explosion of cases in Europe and North America.
And governments around the world are rolling out new measures to try and contain any further spread as we prepare to head into 2022. For more on this and other updates, our reporter Shin Ye-eun is here in the studio with us. Good morning, Yeun.
Good morning.
Now, like always, let's start with the local situation. How many cases are we expecting for today?
So we're expecting the daily tally to stay above the 5,000 mark yet again. Up until 9 p.m. Thursday, we recorded 4,349 infections, and that was down by 184 from what had been reported the same time the day before. Compared to a week ago, this figure came down by 1,349, which suggests that the toughened quarantine restrictions have had some effect.
So we are seeing this apparent downward trend in new cases here in South Korea. That being said, the authorities here are widely expected to extend these restrictions that are in place potentially for another fortnight.
Right, they are. They're pretty much set on extending the current virus prevention measures for another 2 weeks. And from December 18th, the country pressed pause on its gradual return to normal scheme. Instead, distancing restrictions have been toughened. Social gatherings were limited to 4 people, and a range of business operations were ordered to close at 9 p.m. Originally, these restrictions were set to be lifted this Sunday on January 2nd. But over the past few days, authorities have added momentum to the idea that current measures should be extended for another 2 weeks, meaning they'll last until January 16th. And this is mainly because of the Omicron variant that has been causing an uptick in new infections, not only on the local front, but globally.
So, Yeun, aside from the extension of the current measures, are there any other changes that we're expecting?
Right, so authorities may release additional measures to help small and private business owners. Business owners have repeatedly expressed how social gathering caps and business hour restrictions have put their livelihoods at risk. Up until now, the government responded by handing out relief funds worth around $840 to each business. And we still need to wait and find out what exactly authorities are considering to do to further help these small business owners. Another change is in regards to extending vaccine passes to teens aged 12 and up. 30% of teens aged 12 to 17 still haven't received their first COVID-19 shot, and authorities are considering to delay the date when they'll start requiring teens to show either a proof of vaccination or a negative PCR test result to access public facilities from February to March. And the vaccine pass policy for teens was originally supposed to be imposed from February 1st. Also from the new year, those born in the year 2010 can reserve their first vaccine shots from January 4th because they'll be turning 12.
Right, I presume when you say they can reserve, you mean their parents
Yes,
can
definitely.
reserve for them. Don't want a bunch of 12-year-olds calling up for COVID vaccinations.
Right.
But South Korea isn't the only country tweaking its virus prevention measures. Omicron and to a lesser degree Delta is causing chaos around the world. How are other countries playing around with their virus prevention policies?
Right. If I take Italy, for example, they thought of a reasonable way to maintain economic activity even amid its chaotic COVID-19 situation. Authorities on Wednesday said they would exempt those who have been fully vaccinated or who have received a booster shot or recovered from COVID-19 within the last 120 days from having to go through self-quarantine, even if they come to contact with a person infected with COVID-19. The self-isolation period has been reduced from 7 days to 5, even for those who have recovered or have been vaccinated for more than 4 months. And Italy will also extend its vaccine pass, which is also known as a super green pass there, to all forms of public transport from January 10th. Now, other European countries like France, Portugal, Germany, and Northern Ireland have decided to close their nightclubs, meaning there will be no New Year's parties at clubs this year. The U.S. is also set on adding fuel to its booster shot campaign. As local news outlets reported, the FDA is expected to broaden eligibility for Pfizer boosters to youths aged 12 to 15 in the coming days.
All right, Ye-eun, as always, thank you for your reports throughout the whole year. We hope to talk to you again next year. Have a happy new year.
All right, thank you so much, and Happy New Year.